World Rugby law change process outdated. As Brett Robinson eyes Nations Cup Unity World Rugby, Chair Brett Robinson has admitted that the current process for changing rugby's laws is no longer fit for purpose, describing it as outdated and ill-suited to the modern game. His comments follow revelations that at least one proposed law trial failed to be implemented due to human error, compounded by the requirement that 75% of World Rugby's member unions must vote in favor of any law change. Robinson pointed to the prolonged and often fractious debate around the 20-minute red card as a prime example. While the sanction has been trialed extensively, particularly in Super Rugby, World Rugby has repeatedly failed to secure enough support to permanently enshrine it in the law book. Opposition from the Northern Hemisphere was well documented, with Ireland and France publicly voicing their concerns when the trial was adopted by the Six Nations. As a result, a compromise was reached, allowing referees to retain the ability to issue a permanent red card alongside the 20-minute version, but a system built 30 years ago. Speaking on the Rugby Unity podcast, Robinson acknowledged the frustration caused by the slow pace of reform. The introduction of the 20-minute red card was really frustrating because it took us a lot longer, he said. Some of our friends in the Northern Hemisphere needed to better understand it. He explained that friction between the hemispheres continues to delay potential improvements to the game and revealed how one promising trial never progressed after a voting error. The system that World Rugby is built upon is from 30 years ago, and we have to think differently about the way we do it, Robinson said. As an example, we need a 75% vote to change any law. We had a one-stop mall trial that we put to a vote in November last year, which missed out by one vote. We later found out that someone pressed the wrong button. So we have systems that are just not working to enable the pace we need to react at as a game, and part of World Rugby's review process is to reconsider that. Nations Cup seen as chance to unite unions. Robinson stressed that if further law trials are to be introduced in the short term, they must be agreed upon and implemented before the June-July international window, which will mark the launch of a new Nations Cup. We need to look at what we can do before June-July next year so that when we reach the Rugby World Cup in Australia, we don't look back and say we missed a huge opportunity. He said he revealed that World Rugby has already increased pressure on both the governing body and its members to reach consensus, particularly through the Professional Game Committee, which brings together the CEOs of the world's top 12 unions. Discussions around the Nations Cup, Robinson believes, present a rare opportunity for alignment. This new competition unites the top 12 unions around consistency of product right through to December, he said, noting the inclusion of Japan and Fiji. For the first time, the Six Nations and the Rugby Championship are properly connected. Suddenly, all of it matters because it leads to a final in December. That creates a huge opportunity to drive consistent thinking around quality of product. Robinson added that such consistency would not only benefit the game on the field, but also strengthen rugby's commercial appeal beyond Rugby World Cups. Further trials and TMO review looking ahead. Robinson hinted that additional trials could be introduced during the upcoming Super Rugby Pacific season, particularly those aimed at reducing what he described as senseless stoppages. He also confirmed that outgoing New Zealand Rugby CEO Mark Robinson will lead an independent review into the role. An influence of the television match official, TMO, as World Rugby continues to reassess how best to balance accuracy, flow, and spectacle